Kansas City Royals just completed one of the most impressive bounce back seasons in MLB history, and with another year and some playoff experience under the young core's belt, there is hope to replicate the success of 2024 and turn the Royals into perennial playoff attendees. However, it will take a successful offseason to keep up with the ever improving playoff picture in the American League, and that's where we come in. This marks the 24th rebuild of the Rebuilding October series, which is a series where I rebuild a new team every day across the month of October. So whether you're looking for your favorite team or just generally curious as to how every team will approach the offseason, I've got you covered. And with that, let's get into the video. Before we can get too deep into what the team should add, we have to look at who the team will lose in the free agent pool. The first and most notable name is Michael Wacha, who will decline his $16 million player option in pursuit of a bigger payday. Wacha is a quirky pitcher that uses his changeup as his primary pitch to great avail. Wacha outperforms his expected numbers regularly, and that trend continued in 2024, posting a 3.35 ERA with an xERA above 4. Regardless, the results are the results, and it will be a tough player to move on from. Another player with a player option entering the 2024 offseason is Hunter Renfroe. In this instance, Renfroe will return to the Royals on a $7.6 million deal to resume his starting role in right field. Last season, he posted a 689 OPS with 15 homers and 52 RBIs. There's always hope that he can return to that form we saw him in Milwaukee and Boston, where he was a plus bat, but time will tell. A player who will hit the market unopposed is Will Smith, who really struggled across 2024. Smith posted a 6.53 ERA across 45 appearances and didn't bring that World Series magic that had followed him the prior 3 seasons. He struggled with injuries toward the end of the season and was replaced within the bullpen by arms outperforming him at a higher level. Smith lost a few ticks on his fastball and is too much of a risk for the cash-strapped Royals to take a chance on. Another potential free agent that joined the Royals in 2024 is Michael Lorenzen. Lorenzen performed admirably over the second half of the season in Kansas City, posting a 1.57 ERA across his 7 appearances while giving up virtually no home runs. It'll be a player that the Royals will lose to other teams, but probably would have liked to hold on to. A player the team will not like to hold on to is Adam Frazier, who continued to struggle since his time in Pittsburgh in 2021. After posting a 576 OPS across 104 games for the Royals, while never being renowned for his defense, there is no reason to retain the infielder for his $8.5 million mutual option. Another player who didn't have the greatest performance in Kansas City was Chris Stratton, who posted a 5.55 ERA in 2024. Stratton will likely stay in town, however, due to his $4.5 million player option, which he will activate. Stratton's strikeouts numbers fell off a cliff in 2024 and was a large part of his undoing, so if he can return to form in that regard, it'll be a blessing in disguise for the Royals. And then the team will lose out on their postseason push acquisitions in Paul DeYoung, Tommy Pham, Robbie Grossman, and Yuldy Gurriel, all of which struggled too much to make an impact down the stretch and would be better served elsewhere. And the final player who the Royals will retain in 2025 is Garrett Hampson, who will come back to fill the void as a fourth outfielder whose primary role is in defensive situation. Hampson doesn't offer much offensively, but the defense and on the base pass is where he will make his money. Staying on the internal side of things, the Royals only have 2 prospects that can make their way to the major league level in 2025. The highest rated of the 2 is Ben Kurdna, who is a right-hander sat at AA. Kurdna is a strike thrower that gets a decent bit of swing and miss off of his soft speed stuff. What holds him back is his less than stellar fastball, which sits in the lower 90s. It's weird, he actually threw harder in high school, but has lost some velo in the minor leagues, which has caused his ceiling to be a bit lower for him as a middle of the rotation guy who you hope to see towards the end of the year. And the next name is the former number 9 overall pick from the 2022 MLB draft in Gavin Cross. Cross was flying up the system until 2023, where he lost a bit of his identity as a hitter, going from a plate disciplined power to all fields type to selling out for power and needing to rework his swing by the end of the season. Cross looked better in 2024, posting a 770 OPS, and with good enough defense to be a plus center fielder, he could find his way to the majors later in the season. For free agents, the team budget will have to be kept in mind, and that becomes evident when the team signs Brandon Drury as their DH option. This is a high-risk, high-reward sort of signing where Drury was one of the worst players in the majors last season, posting a 469 OPS with just 4 home runs and 15 RBIs in 97 games. However, if the Royals can get the player that Drury was from 21 to 23, it can be a steal. During that time frame, Drury posted an 806 OPS with a 162 game average of 30 homers and 95 RBIs. It's a risk, but this Royal squad will need to take some risks to keep pace in the American League Central. Another poor performance in 2024 that the Royals will hopefully rectify is Andrew Heaney, who continues to post near league average performances. However, that's not the type of player you're chasing when you sign Heaney. Heaney proved what his maximum value can be during a stretch with the Dodgers in 2022, where he posted a 3.10 ERA across 16 appearances while striking out 13 batters per 9 innings. Even if he can't quite get back to that form, it would add some stability to the back end of the rotation. And the final edition of the video is Jonathan Loaiziga, who has recently struggled to stay on the field the past couple of years. The Royals are only able to make this signing because of those injuries, as he'll miss a chunk of the season, and if he can return healthy and put up the numbers we're used to seeing, he could be a highly valuable addition to this pin come later in the year. And that's going to do it for the additions to the squad, bringing the final roster to Salvador Perez behind the dish, with Vinny Pasquantino at first and Michael Macy at second. Bobby Wood will occupy short with Michael Garcia at third. MJ Melendez will get another shot in left field and hopes he can finally break out, with Kyle Isbell in center and Hunter Renfroe in right, with Drury at DH. The bench would consist of Freddie Fermin as a backup catcher, with Nelson Velasquez as an additional bat. Hampson would return as a fourth outfielder, and Nick Prado would make the team in hopes of becoming the prospect we were once promised. Cole Reagans and Seth Lugo would headline the rotation, with Brady Singer and Andrew Heaney filling out the middle, with Kyle Wright returning from injury, hopefully to that top form we once all saw. Would this team be able to catch that same flame they did in 2024? I'm not sure. The losses in the rotation will require some excellent turnarounds from often injured players, and with some potential breakouts on the offensive side, it's entirely possible.